Hello agents, Spyplane 662 Gaming here, and I just wanted to drop a quick video as to why I think it's important to have more than one character. I've only been playing this game for about 4 months. I bought it back in patch 1.5 and literally took me forever to get this guy up to level 30, gear score 256. It was such a huge accomplishment though after I did achieve that level, and of course over time getting all the gear sets and exotics through patch 1.6. I found that it was really nice to have that second character to do more farming and to obtain quicker Phoenix credits. Now, I recently watched a video from MarcoStyle regarding the importance behind having two characters. I'll leave a link for that in the comment section below. And I initially thought when I watched that video, there's no way that I'll do another character. But, as you can see, I've got about 18 days worth of time playing the first guy. And I started up my second character. It really didn't take me that long to get him up to 30. Did it by myself. I didn't have any buddies helping me out doing any power leveling. So he obviously had gear waiting for him when he hit 30. So now that I've got two level 30 characters, they pretty much are able to do twice the level of farming, and of course obtaining twice the level of caches, the weekly caches, and so forth. Phoenix credits, you name it. Now, I'm also contemplating on doing a third and fourth character as well, but again, we'll see how that goes and if time permits. So without further ado, I'll load up my second character here and kind of show you the benefit of having two characters. Obviously, as you know, with patch 1.6, with the weekly caches, you are able to get an exotic item, and obviously the refresh rate on that is a week. It takes a little bit of while for you to get through those. I take it piece by piece with each character. So usually I start off with farming the tools or crafting materials, and of course there's usually a special item that requires you to go kill certain people or have headshots or hitting soft points. The problem that I have is getting out into the dark zone and killing those bosses in the dark zone. I'm more of a PvE player, so I don't really go out much into the dark zone, but I have been into the dark zone a lot more often to help capture all those goals for the weeklies. If you hit your map and then go into the mission overview tab, as you can see here, weekly assignments are broken down into several categories. The mission completion objective isn't really that difficult. You just have to complete 10 missions on hard difficulty or challenge difficulty. Usually what I do to start off my routine is for each character, I'll jump in and do all the world bosses in the light zone. It usually takes me about 35 minutes to accomplish those per character, so literally right around an hour to get those done. Usually end up finding some pretty decent gear. Very rarely do you find exotics, but the only thing that I've been finding lately from those guys is the Caduceus and the Tenebrae and MC Skull's gloves. Was able to probably find about 20 or so MC Skull's gloves from these folks. And pared them down to the key sets of gloves that I thought I'd find more useful for my build sets. I found a ton of Caduceus and Tenebrae weapons, and I've actually sold a lot or destroyed a lot of those just because I have had better luck with other versions of those weapons. But again, there's your weekly assignment. I'm not too much into the underground. I have started it. It's pretty unique. I concentrate more on farming, playing the challenge missions. Every once in a while I'll try a legendary or incursion. Now with patch 1.6, and I just haven't been able to find the right group preparing for that. In addition to the daily assignments, you can obviously accomplish these. These are usually easier. You can usually check these off as you're progressing through the weekly assignment queue. And now the Isaac assignments have added new objectives here for patch 1.6. And this week it looks like we're just getting a reward for killing Simon. No big deal. There are daily missions, obviously, that give you respective gear sets and rewards and Phoenix credits. So there's an additional 3 set of missions you could do with the each character, and of course the incursions, which I don't do much more of. So with that said, go take a look at my stash here. And again, I've only been playing for about 4 months. Was able to amass a pretty decent amount of equipment. And typically what I do is I will tend to farm and save particular gear and weapons mods and compare them to gear and weapons mods that I have currently in my stash. And if I find that there's a better gear piece item or weapon piece item, I'll end up replacing that in its respective weapon. So, for example, if I've got a series of assault rifles here, like lightweight M4s and LVOACs. Some of these are color coded with their respective weapon skin. And usually, what happens is when I stash a weapon in the stash with a color or weapon skin, it usually indicates something that I like to use frequently. And when I'm using gear or mods in the stash just to store as a place to put weapons mods, I won't put a weapon skin on there just to signify that it's just a place to put extra weapons mods, kind of like a mule, if you will. Just because the stash is only limited to 150 units of items, and you could easily see how quickly that could fill up after you start farming and collecting gear that you don't necessarily want to get rid of. Obviously, I can probably go back through some of this gear and get rid of some of those items that just don't synergize well with patch 1.6, but I'm still trying to figure out what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. I'm on the Xbox One console. It's really nice that they have fixed the categorization or um, movement within the stash. Used to not have this quick nav feature, so right now the quick nav feature is working in the Xbox One console. Thank you very much, Massive, for fixing that. It helps me manage my equipment much easier now. As far as the masks and all the other items, I traditionally keep firearms gear mods or weapons gear mods in the masks so that if I need to go back and look through the firearms mods, I can go ahead and refer to the masks and typically put in stamina mods in my gear set, my chest pieces. For example, like here's the stamina skill power. Here's a couple of stamina with crit hit chance. And over the course of my farming, when I see gear mods in the vendors, I'll buy them to replace them and upgrade my gear so that I could use them later on. Backpacks usually contain all of my electronics mods, and of course all of those performance mods as well. Pretty organized there. And knee pads, kind of a carryover for electronics mods and performance mods. Obviously, holsters are all performance mods. And that's pretty much it. I don't necessarily store any weapons or gear mods in the stash by themselves because they simply just take up too much valuable space. I have recently purged my stash down from a maximum of 150 to currently 143 items, and I could probably even use to get rid of a lot more here too. So with that said, each particular weapon has its respective gear mod that I would put on that specific weapon. For example, like on the SMG or assault rifle, it has mods that I would use for that weapon. Otherwise, if I find something that's just kind of out of place or isn't good enough to put into the stash, I'll just go ahead and destroy it or sell it. So again, a lot of these items were put together from farming the world bosses, opening up the field proficiency caches, the weekly, the dailies, and so forth. I even spent a lot of time and money buying the basic caches from the vendors all throughout the light zone, and you end up finding some pretty unique stuff in there. For example, I found a really nice MP5 ST from one of the basic field caches, and also my first MP7, which is on my other character. Okay, obviously, as you know, with the patch 1.6, we have the opportunity to be able to carry 5,000 Phoenix credits in our character, and that's shared amongst your characters, which is nice. Before I realized in 1.5 the 2,000 Phoenix credit limit, I wasn't spending the Phoenix credits. I was running around just kind of killing the bosses, and I ended up leaving a lot of the Phoenix credits out in the light zone that would just get wasted. So, in all honesty, guys, there was a point in time in 1.5 where there really wasn't much offered up by the vendors. Even now, with the normal exotics, you're really not too thrilled about the exotics that are there unless they do, load up a nice combination of talents or a higher weapons damage than what you have. Occasionally, they will load up really nice gear set items. And some of my gear set items that I've been able to piece together to complete sets have come from Special Equipment Vendor. There is a really nicely done weekly vendor reset video from a YouTube member called Skill Up. Very thorough. There's a lot of other folks who do the weekly vendor reset videos as well. I'll leave a link to those down below. And also there is a Reddit page that lists them all on a website that you can look at and view. That is obviously done every week as well. I'll post a link to that down below in the comment section too. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I've got two characters here running twice the missions, getting twice the Phoenix credits, the caches, and of course, it just offers me up a lot more opportunity to store extra gear because the stash is very limited. And on this guy, I've pretty much got an additional striker nomad build because of the fact that I had all this gear that I didn't want to just throw away. I was able to piece together a pretty comparable high-end exotic build too with this guy, just to have two guys running nicely equipped firearms, weapons, and probably would potentially create either a Deadeye sniper build, maybe even looking at the Seeker Mine build with the Tactician set, and also I've contemplated building a Reclaimer healer. So I just don't fully understand all the skill builds yet, still learning the game, trying to explore more with those options, but having more characters offers up the opportunity for you to do it relatively easily without having to stash gear all the time, and of course moving pieces around from one character to another. Again, just a short video there about the importance of having two characters and a little bit of organization there in the stash and how I put stuff into the stash to make them easily available for me to find if I need to get to them relatively quickly when I do find new gear or equipment, and obviously to keep the credits rolling because we're always rolling. Our gear recalibration is essential in 1.6, especially after they nerfed all of the armor and healing. So again, that's the quick video there. You guys have a good day, and if you have a comment, leave it below. If you like the video, drop a like, and take a look at all those links below to look at all those other videos that we talked about earlier. Take care.